welcome to Betty's Musings. My name is Elizabeth Omori, and today I'll be talking to you about effective communication. Now, one of the things that you have to learn to have an effective communication in marriage is that you must learn to bridle your tongue. It's not everything that you feel or have in your mind that you should actually want to blot out. You should have to learn to bridle your tongue. Know what to say. Know that it's not everything that you should actually say. The second thing is that you have to also learn if at that particular point in time your spouse requires you to have an input or your spouse just needs a listening ear. Sometimes your spouse is venting to you. They're not venting because they want you to tell them something, but they are venting because they just need someone to listen to them. They want to unburden themselves. So you have to learn that it's not every time that you should actually have an opinion. Sometimes just learn to listen. Also, you need to learn to be sensitive with your words. Let your words be, instead of being, some people say I'm brutally honest. I'm just a very honest person, and because you're honest, you say things without the care of that person's feelings. Even if what you're saying is actually might be true, you realize that you've taken away that the person probably even has even gone back more feeling more damaged than feeling, encouraged or feeling a sense of, okay, I've spoken to someone today and then this might be able to be, I might be able to resolve this. They just begin to feel a lot more shattered. So in a marriage especially, both husband and wife need to learn to be sensitive with their words. Let their words be more encouraging. Also, you need to learn to stop filling in the gaps when your spouse is talking. Sometimes people, they'll say, as a spouse is talking, you just say, in fact, the person has not even finished it. You have already told them what they are trying to say. Meanwhile, that's not what they're trying to say. You hear people say, why are you taking the words out of my mouth? Listen to me. Listen to me speak. You're filling the gaps. You're thinking, you're using your own thoughts to have that communication rather than listening to your spouse or listening to the person that is talking to you. So one of the ways to have an effective communication is just stop filling the gaps. Sometimes this is a bad habit that people have to unlearn because they've done it for so many years that it might require you to just, before you want to, when you want to just pause, especially if you're one that's already used to filling the gap. Even if you have an idea where that conversation is going to, assume that in your mind that you truly do not know what that person wants to talk about. It actually helps to pause. I mean, we all are, we are all culprits when it comes to this kind of thing at different degrees and different levels. But it's something that we all need to also work on. So rather than just putting your input, listen, and then when you listen, you will know where, when, and how you're meant to come in to that conversation. You don't have to have the final say. When you're talking to someone, that sometimes someone is trying to talk to you, to guide you, to advise you or something, but you have to be the one to say, yes, I already did it before. Yes, I know what I'm doing. Or yes, having the final say is not, as far as I'm concerned, it's like someone who is a foolish person. Because a wise person realizes that there's so much to learn out there. And guess what? Because my spouse has our interests at heart, whatever they're going to be saying to me is supposed to be something to help us. So it doesn't matter who has the final word. It doesn't matter if I'm able to prove that, I knew what they were talking about. So I really do not have to have the final say. All I have to do is to be willing to listen, especially for if you're having a conversation where it is like an advice or it is they are guiding your path to do something that will actually be more beneficial than maybe what you were doing before. So you have to realize that having the final say is a no-no. Then lastly, now this one I find that I think I'm going to have a video for it all together, but I'll put it in here is that you need to control your digital voice. What I mean by digital voice is this. Sometimes when you're having a conversation, you're having an argument, or you're in a bad place with your spouse, you just pick up the phone because you have something to say. You just start typing it and you have to say how you feel. That is also your tongue, only that it's digital. You have to be careful the things you say. If that thing is going to be hurtful, wipe it out, because guess what? You realize that a digital voice sometimes is even more destructive, because you have spoken, the words are gone. But that digital voice, the person can go back and say, look at what you even said. Maybe you guys are made up. See what you said. You said I'm a madman. You said that I was thinking I was behaving very foolish, or you said you called me stupid. Because it's penned down, it is difficult to erase. Even though maybe you might say, okay, we have tools now like WhatsApp. Some people even do emails. That's even worse. You sit down and type a lengthy email to your spouse, a spouse that you're living with, writing out certain things. If your words are not going to be thoughtful, if your words are not going to be encouraging, if your words are not going to be the type that it's like we're trying to resolve and we're not trying to condemn, you're not trying to judge, then you have to be careful not to pen down your voice digitally, because it might be very difficult to take that back. Taking out words that blood come out of your mouth is already difficult. How much more the one that you pen down? In summary, we talked about learning to bridle your tongue. We talked about learning to give your spouse a listening ear. It's not the time that you need to actually have an input. We talked about being sensitive with our words. We talked about not filling the gaps, when we're having conversations with our spouse. We talked about not having to have the final say. We talked about not penning down things digitally because they might be difficult to erase. And last but not the least, make sure that you're positive and kind. Have a good day. Please check out a copy of my ebook, Squeezing the Sweet Nectar of Your Marriage. It's loaded with case studies, things to examine your relationship with, short stories that are very relatable, that can help you understand topics better. And for those who are Bible believers, lots of Bible passages as well. It's for people who are seeking to improve their marriage, resolve conflict, and use for pre-marriage counseling. So above 150 pages, and I'm sure it will be worth your while. You can also follow me on my Instagram page at BettysNewBeginnings. Thank you so much for staying tuned to the very end of this video. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share. You'll be helping someone, or you could also be improving your own relationship and marriage.